Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to absolutely demystify a concept that gets thrown around all the time in boardrooms and universities. Yep, we're talking about innovation. We often think of innovation as this magical spark, right? Like a sudden aha moment reserved for those brilliant inventors working completely alone in a garage, surviving on nothing but ramen and caffeine. But what if I told you that innovation isn't just about having a clever idea? It's actually a highly disciplined, repeatable journey from a raw possibility all the way through to implementation and ultimately to creating real, tangible value. Today, we're taking the magic out of it and replacing it with a concrete, learnable management discipline.
Okay, let's dive right into this structural roadmap for our focus breakdown today. First, the innovation reality check. Second, the idea to impact continuum. Third, the 4 pillars, known as RICP. Fourth, spotting the 7 opportunities. And finally, number 5, why innovation matters.
Section 1. The innovation reality check. Myth versus reality. Let's ground this right away with a super relatable story. Picture a busy campus cafe. It has a major problem. The queues are constantly way too long. Now, imagine we have 2 different student teams who set out to solve this exact same problem.
Now, let's contrast these 2 approaches. Team A comes up with a flashy mobile pre-ordering app. They've got beautiful, colorful slides, but 0 actual customers. They never bothered to interview the cafe staff, they didn't test the payment options, and there's definitely no working prototype. The idea remains just that, an untested possibility. Team B, on the other hand, takes a totally different route. They just observe the queue for a week and figure out that payment isn't actually the delay, it's the customized drink prep. So what do? They put together a simple order-ahead form, run a 2-day trial with the staff, and measure the results. Average wait times actually fall, and the cafe adopts it. Let me ask you, if you manage that cafe, what evidence would you require before investing? You'd want exactly what Team B brought to the table, right? Both teams were highly creative, for sure, but only Team B actually crossed the implementation gap.
So what does this all mean? Well, it brings us to a crucial 3-part test. Innovation is the implementation of a new or significantly improved solution that creates measurable value for users. Part 1, is it meaningfully new? Part 2, has it been implemented in the real world rather than just existing in your head? And Part 3, does it create or enable measurable value, like maybe lower costs, greater convenience, or improved safety? If you answer no to literally any of these, you might be super creative, but you haven't actually innovated yet. It's absolutely crucial that we separate these fundamentally different capabilities. Step 1 is creativity, which is just generating original options. Step 2 is invention. This is creating a novel technical solution or maybe filing a patent. But listen, a patent does not equal an innovation. A patented invention might never reach a single actual user. Step 3, innovation, only happens when that solution is implemented, adopted, and creates value in practice. You could have hundreds of highly imaginative ideas, but without selection, testing, and execution, you just aren't innovating.
Section 2. The idea to impact continuum, the journey. This is the roadmap of how a raw thought becomes a valuable reality. Remember, innovation is never a single event. It's a sequence of distinct learning events designed to reduce uncertainty. Let's map this out and see how this builds over time. On day 1, you recognize a need and form a raw idea. But raw ideas are pretty fragile, right? And they usually lack a clear owner. By week 2, you develop it into an actual concept, defining the users and the context. Month 1 rolls around and you're building a prototype to test your biggest assumptions as cheaply as possible. Fast forward to month 6, you are pushing for real implementation, getting it operational, and looking out to year 1, you're driving diffusion, adoption, and measuring the actual impact. At every single stage, the manager's job isn't to magically guarantee success right out of the gate. It's to ask, what is our greatest uncertainty right now, and what is the smallest test we can run to learn more?
Section 3. The 4 pillars. RICP, the engine. To push an idea along that continuum we just explored, an organization absolutely needs an engine.
Now, let's pause for a second. Think about your own workplace or your school. Why do good ideas stall in the pipeline? Seriously, why do organizations full of incredibly creative, intelligent people so often fail to execute? We're always so quick to blame the idea itself, or maybe the person who pitched it. But the real answer usually lies within the organizational system itself. When an innovation stalls out, you have to diagnose it by looking at these 4 interdependent factors: resources, infrastructure, culture, and process. RICP.
You need resources, and we're not just talking about budget here, but protected time for exploration and the right mix of skills. You need infrastructure, which means leadership support, clear goals, and governance. You absolutely must have the right culture, a true culture of curiosity and candor, where a team can report a failed assumption early without the fear of getting fired. And finally, process. You need a visible, manageable pathway from recognizing an opportunity to adopting the solution. If you give a team endless resources but have a fear-based culture or a great process but zero protected time, innovation is going to stall for sure.
Section 4. Spotting the 7 opportunities where ideas begin. So where do these ideas even come from in the first place? Let's check out management thinker Peter Drucker's systematic view on how to spot opportunities.
Opportunities generally pop up from these 7 sources. Number 1, the unexpected event. Think about how a recurring tire puncture problem led to the unexpected massive opportunity for tubeless tires. Number 2 is incongruity, a gap between expectations and reality, like how the sheer frustration of slow traditional mail delivery paved the way for trackable courier services. Then we have process needs, industry structure changes like deregulation, and demographic changes, for example, aging populations driving massive demand for new health and home monitoring services. Add to that changes in perception, like how we view wellness today, and of course, new knowledge in fields like data science. Actually, a truly game-changing opportunity often combines several of these sources all at once.
Section 5. Why innovation matters, ecosystems, and impact. Why put in all this disciplined effort to manage innovation? Because it is the absolute foundation of competitive advantage and organizational survival.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why. Apple is a textbook example, because its true competitive advantage isn't just about inventing a single gadget. Their success comes from integrating existing and emerging tech into a seamless ecosystem. They combined a hardware ecosystem, a software ecosystem, beautiful retail integration, and digital content. They took complex functions and made them incredibly usable and commercially sustainable. That integration, it's a massive, highly defensible competitive advantage.
But hey, it's not just about corporate profits. A well-managed innovation system creates everyday, tangible value across the board. For customers, it delivers better solutions, improves safety, and convenience. For organizations, it provides growth, resilience, and differentiation against market shocks. For employees, it means meaningful work, learning new skills, and a culture where their ideas are actually heard. And for society as a whole, it drives job creation and solutions to pressing public needs. Everyone wins when we stop treating innovation like a lucky lottery ticket and start managing it as a process.
Which brings us to our concluding thought, a quote straight from the source text that perfectly captures everything we've talked about today. Innovation is not a lucky moment reserved for inventors. It is a learnable discipline for understanding change, organizing people and evidence, and creating value under uncertainty. You don't have to be a genius working alone in a lab. You just need to understand the need, test your assumptions, organize your resources, and push relentlessly toward implementation and value. So now that you have the framework, from spotting the opportunity in an unexpected event, to testing it, to building the RICP engine to actually support it, the power is in your hands. Look around your organization, your campus, or your community. What problem will you solve next?